$50,000.
A record-smashing night at the Stampede tarp auction.
No, I was absolutely taken aback.
27 Chuckwagon drivers fetch over $6 million combined.
I think Canada is worth fighting for.
Do you believe her?
No, I absolutely do not.
Provincial party leaders face off ahead of a possible separation referendum. And a Calgary police employee facing charges accused of accessing privileged information.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Camilla Di Giuseppe.
Good evening. It was an historic night at Stampede Park. The annual Chuckwagon tarp auction, often seen as the economic barometer for the city of Calgary, easily broke the previous record set in 2012. It fetched a whopping $6 million in bids.
575, and I sold $550,000.
Taking in the top bid tonight was Strathmore's very own Ray Croteau Jr. with $550,000 thanks to Bar L5 Ranch. Lane McGilvery fetched $475,000. Several more drivers walked away with bids in the hundreds of thousands. It's a chance for bidders to have their names on the side of the Chuckwagons during this summer stampede. The amounts they are willing to spend is often considered, again, an indicator of how well Calgary's economy is doing. Last year, the auction brought in $3.8 million. Croteau Jr. smashed the previous single high bid record held by legendary driver Kelly Sutherland at $300,000.
I talked to him tonight and I said, I'm going to beat your record tonight. And he's like, that'll be good for the sport. I had a notion that, they wanted to come in and be high bidder, but I didn't think we were going to go for that much. So I'm still, vibrating from it.
Honestly, just absolutely blown away. I was asked yesterday, how do you think it will go? There's economic uncertainty, but we also know that oil prices have spiked here recently as a result of world events. And so thought, well, that might be a supporting factor.
The Calgary Stampede also says there were a number of new companies taking part in the auction this year, which is another good indicator of how well the economy is doing. Alberta's future in Canada is taking center stage again, with both provincial party leaders facing questions about upcoming referendum. As Kevin Green reports, it's heating up, with Naheed Nenshi accusing the Premier of being a separatist, which she denies.
The separation debate is front and center in Alberta politics Thursday. It began with NDP leader Naheed Nenshi launching a new pro-Canada campaign called For Alberta, For Canada.
The separatist government and the separatist party are going to have a separatist referendum, and we have to stand up for Canada.
About an hour later, Premier Danielle Smith gave her State of the Province speech to Calgary's Rotary Club.
Alberta, this is, I think, the most important headline, continues to be Canada's economic leader.
While her prepared remarks did not mention separation, the issue did come up in a question and answer session where she made one of her strongest statements yet about remaining in Canada.
Evidently, I haven't convinced everyone yet. And I hope that if we do end up having this question debated in October, that I'll be able to do some more convincing, because I think Canada is worth fighting for.
Do you believe her?
No, I absolutely do not. Because she says she's for a sovereign Alberta within a united Canada. Those are meaningless words.
Smith spoke to the Forever Canada petition, which gathered more than 400,000 signatures, saying it's still unclear how that will be handled.
We've got a committee that is working on how to manage the legalities of that.
Edmonton Whitemud MLA Ravi Pancholi says the government is actually dragging its feet on that petition.
And I'm also deeply upset that the government is intentionally ignoring the Forever Canadian petition. Nearly 500,000 Albertans signed that petition last year.
At the same time, a pro-separation petition group says it's reached its target of more than 177,000 signatures, though that is yet to be verified. Political analysts say the issue gives the opposition an opening.
Really pressing questions about where Danielle Smith stands, those are the kind of questions that are going to increasingly dog her. And so there is an opening there for whether it be Naheed Nenshi or other leaders within the province.
Separation is not the number one issue on Albertans' minds. According to recent polls, that goes to health care in number one and cost of living as number two. but pollsters, politicians, and political scientists all agree that the closer we get to October and a likely referendum on the issue, the more important it will become in people's minds. Kevin Green, CTV News, Calgary.
Danielle is in with our first look at the weather, and what a Friday do we have in store.
Oh, it's going to be fantastic. And you know what? We're always really good at making the best of it when it's here, and tomorrow is one to make the best of, for sure. Lots of sunshine, winds pretty calm. Yeah, a little bit on the chilly side to start with a wind chill of -6 at 7 and 8 a.m. But after that, look at that. We'll climb fast and get up to 15 degrees in the afternoon. But the question is, how long will we hold on to this? I'll have more weather details coming up a little later. Midnight tomorrow is the absolute final deadline in the Foothills Hospital Home Lottery. You could win the $3.2 million grand prize show home in Harmony, built by Bay West Homes, plus $100,000 cash. Get your tickets before midnight tomorrow at foothillshospitalhomelottery.com.
All right, Danielle, thanks. A civilian member of the Calgary Police Service has been charged in a breach of privacy investigation. She's accused of accessing police databases to obtain protected information of several people she once had or wanted to have a personal relationship with. Kayla Jessen, a 3-year member, was arrested and charged 2 days ago with 9 counts under the province's Protection of Privacy Act. Investigators believe she used her access to privileged information and, against CPS policy, retrieved protected data between February and August of last year for personal use. They became aware in December and seized Jessen's cell phone in March, identifying 4 people whose data had been targeted and intentionally searched. Police admit this breach of privacy involving one of their own hurts public trust. One criminal justice expert we spoke to says investigators are making a point by making details of this case public.
And we know the name of this individual, and we know why they were allegedly doing what they did. That will scare a lot of people who have access to this kind of information and remind them not to do it.
The charges against Jessen are not criminal, so she won't face jail time but could be fined. She is currently on an unrelated leave from the service pending review. Her next court date is in June. Well, 2 more people are now facing charges in a Lethbridge man's recent death that brings the total to 5 facing first-degree murder. Police say in the hours leading up to the 27-year-old's death, he was confined, beaten, and choked. The attack happened at a Lethbridge apartment complex on March 27th. When Lethbridge police arrived that morning, they found the victim deceased. His name is not being released. 3 men were arrested and charged. Then on April 2nd, a 4th man was apprehended and charged. And on Tuesday, a young woman in her 20s who was in the apartment when the man was killed turned herself in. Police say the accused all knew the victim.
There was no ongoing risk to the public identified. It's important that everyone in this community feels safe. And I think this is a safe community, and so as soon as we can bring these investigations to a conclusion and hold those responsible accountable, the better.
All 5 suspects have been remanded into custody and are awaiting court appearances. 4 pedestrians have been hit by vehicles in the span of 12 hours on Calgary streets, and police believe we are on pace for another record year. The most serious collision occurred in Seton last night. It's raising concerns about a specific road where residents say speeding and reckless driving is common. Here's Tyson Fedor.
A blue car and smashed windshield is all that remains from a pedestrian collision along Seton Drive and Main Street Southeast Wednesday night.
It's a scary place to cross.
A woman was seriously hurt while crossing the road around 9 p.m. The driver stayed on scene. There's no word on any charges. Resident Nicole Mullett says she has made 3 complaints about the intersection to the city.
I heard somebody lay on their horn and I heard a really loud thud, which is terrible. Looked out the window and there was a woman laying in the middle of the road.
I know this intersection. I've crossed it before, and it is dangerous.
Ward 12 Councillor Mike Jamieson says Seton Drive has been a constant hazard to people looking to cross the road.
There's been a lot of complaints about Seton Drive, and this is not the only intersection that's really bad on Seton Drive either. So there's a number of them that are very troublesome.
There have been 9 fatal traffic accidents, with 4 involving pedestrians in 2026. Wednesday night also saw a pedestrian collision on McLeod Trail near the BMO Centre, along with another in the northwest. Early Thursday morning, a person suffered minor injuries at 1st Avenue and 144th Street Northwest.
People aren't getting the point, and I think what we really need to see is a complete shift in the ideology around driving, about the responsibility you have when you're doing that. You're responsible to yourself, but you're also responsible to everyone else that uses the road to help keep them alive.
123 pedestrians have been hit on Calgary roads so far this year.
We can't keep blaming government for the things that they do. We can't blame the roads and barriers, and we have to at some point own it. As a driver,
Tyson Fedor, CTV News, Calgary.
Meantime, on CTV News, we do have some more interesting stories coming up. I apologize, my prompter is out of place. So, the greatest outdoor show on earth coming in July. Tonight, attendees got a chance to see some art featuring some legends.
You're watching CTV News, Calgary.
A pair of massive paintings celebrating Chuckwagon racing were unveiled at tonight's Stampede tarp auction. They honor a pair of legends in the sport, and if that's your kind of art, one of those paintings could be yours. Kevin Green explains.
Kelly Sutherland has won more World and Stampede Chuckwagon championships than anyone else, 12 of each.
If you can achieve that, it's something that you dream about, but you've realized that 90% of the people can't get there.
It earned him the nickname The King, a legacy now captured on canvas in a painting of the same name. It's huge, just over 1.5 by 3 meters or 5 by 10 feet. Artist Paul Van Ginkel says for this, size matters.
It showcases the subject in a more grand capacity.
The painting is based on a moment caught at the Stampede track, with every detail from the horses to the crowd carefully rendered.
With all my paintings, it's like twofold. It has to be equally aesthetically pleasing and then also accurate, because Kelly knows these horses. And if you're painting someone's horse, especially a cowboy, you can't mess up with that.
Van Ginkel was commissioned by a Calgary businessman to create the artwork, which received the blessing of the King himself.
When you're recognized outside of what you're trying to do with your own accomplishments, I guess humbling is about the only thing, and very honored.
Alongside it, a second piece features reigning Stampede champion Chance Vegan, set against a bold pink background.
When he said that he would team up with us and help our initiative, we were just ecstatic.
The pink isn't a design choice. It represents the sunglasses Vegan and his wife Brianna sell to support their charity, I'm Your Huckleberry, which has raised close to $80,000 supporting families facing financial hardships. Van Ginkel created the piece to help raise even more.
I admire Chance. I admire what he and his wife, Brianna, are doing with their charity. And I thought if I can help and be part of that team in some way, I'm all in.
This exceeded our expectations, and I think that most people will agree when we start selling the raffle tickets to help the charity. I think it's going to do extremely well.
The Vegan painting will be raffled off with 200 tickets at $200 each. Both works were on display Thursday night at the Calgary Stampede tarp auction. Kevin Green, CTV News, Calgary.
Calgarians have a rare chance to see some Canadian art masterpieces this week. This collection will go up for auction on May 21st in Toronto. This painting, Cattle Show by Alex Colville, is valued between $700,000 and $900,000. There are also paintings by members of the Group of Seven. Many pieces come from the private collections of Albertans.
This particular painting in the 50s toured very broadly through many museums in the U.S. It's a true international masterpiece.
The collection is open for viewing from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. tomorrow and Saturday at Heffel Calgary in the Northeast. A Calgary high school student is heading to Bristol, UK tomorrow, where she will be taking part in the World Individual Debating and Public Speaking Championships. For someone who used to be shy, she's about to be loud and proud. Kevin Fleming reports.
Wildflowers are the unsung heroes of our ecosystem.
She's fine-tuning her entry for persuasive speaking. Sonia Greywall wrote then memorized her script about the importance of wildflowers, a topic she's interested in. She has to keep it to the required 13 minutes in length, but at competitions, she doesn't always have access to a timer.
It comes with practice, so I think I've gotten much better at memorizing now than I was before. It usually just takes a couple run-throughs, and I find it easier to do because it's my writing. It's the way I would say things, so it's easier to memorize.
This is the second year in a row she'll be competing in the World Individual Debating and Public Speaking Championships, where she's entered in 4 of the 7 categories.
My absolute favorite one is impromptu speaking. So you're given a slip of paper with 3 topics on it, and you're given 2 minutes to prepare, and then 5 minutes to deliver a speech, no notes.
Last year, the 17-year-old placed first in both impromptu speaking and interpretive reading, earning her 5th place overall. Jacqueline Rolston is proud of what Greywall has achieved.
I feel like everybody's just rallying behind her. Like we're all coming together and supporting her and trying to calm her down and give her that focus that she needs to kind of make sure that she feels as good as she can as we send her off tomorrow.
Greywall is one of 60 students in the speech club at Westmount Charter School.
I'm not a huge fan of public speaking. I always actually tell my students, because a lot of times like people are looking at all the sciences, the maths, like for careers and that, and I always tell them to take some drama and speech in that, because actually in my role, I don't use calculus all that much anymore, but I do a lot of public speaking.
Greywall says it takes a lot of work outside school hours to prepare for these international events, but it's worth it and looks good on a resume.
It really impresses people. Not necessarily because of the award, but because a young person is willing to go and do all this. So they really like hearing about the experience.
And she says the side benefit of the competition is meeting students from all over the world who share her passion. Kevin Fleming, CTV News, Calgary.
The competition runs from April 11th to the 17th. Good luck to you. Danielle's up next with her Skywatch forecast, and we have a couple of beautiful days ahead, very spring-like. Those details next.
Well, today was a nice day in the city. Lots of sunshine, calm winds. Temperatures almost at normal. We got to 8 in the city today. 9, though, for Banff and Drumheller and Medicine Hat, and double digits. Pincher Creek up through Brooks and down to Milk River. We'll get even warmer tomorrow as many communities will get into the teens, and some communities will even crack that 20-degree mark. Now, today we had calm winds. We didn't even register for gusts in many of the reporting stations here, as you can see, just 30 kilometers per hour in Pincher Creek and Medicine Hat. We'll pick up to about 40 kilometers per hour. 40 kilometer per hour gusts tomorrow at times in many parts of southern Alberta, but it shouldn't be an all-day thing here and there. So still another tame wind day, and we have this moisture that has made its way out, setting us up for all sunshine tomorrow. So it's a bright day, winds relatively calm. It'll be quite a warm day as well. All right, I'm gonna play this through. This is our futurecast that I'll play through until we have something to talk about. Saturday, we will have the clouds increase throughout the day, and we do have the chance of some sprinkles here and there. Our greatest chance being later in the day, around the supper hours and early evening hours. This model even suggesting some non-severe thunderstorm activity. So that is a potential as well, especially closer to the U.S. border and closer to the mountains. So we have the potential late day Saturday, but Sunday is when the real weather maker arrives. This will drop a little bit of rain, some wet snow, and will drop our temperature significantly as well. It's a one-day blip, and then we're back up, though. I'll show you that in the longer range here. So 15 degrees for tomorrow with basically nothing but sun. Relatively calm winds. On Saturday, the winds will pick up a little bit. The clouds will start to roll in. Still holding on to that warmth, though, 15 degrees with that chance of a late day sprinkle. On Sunday, the system rolls in, dropping a millimeter of rain, a centimeter of snow, and dropping the temperature down to 5 for a daytime high. But we will bounce back fast, right back into the teens for Monday and Tuesday of next week. Key point, though. So out of these next 5 days, 4 of them will be in the teens. After that, though, after Tuesday of next week, we drop significantly for a longer period of time. So enjoy the warmth while we have it. Midnight tomorrow is the absolute final deadline in the Foothills Hospital Home Lottery. You could win the $3.2 million grand prize show home in Harmony, built by Bay West Homes, plus $100,000 cash. Get your tickets before midnight tomorrow at foothillshospitalhomelottery.com.
All right, Danielle, thank you so much. A big seniors hockey tournament is underway in our city. And although they're a little grayer, you may recognize some of these players. That story next. Calgary soccer referee Drew Fisher has been picked for the FIFA World Cup. The 45-year-old is one of 52 referees selected for the big event, co-hosted by Canada, the U.S., and Mexico this summer. Fisher has been a Major League Soccer ref since 2012 and was a video assistant official at the Qatar World Cup in 2022. And Michael Barwagon of Coaldale has been selected as an assistant referee for this year's event. Match assignments will be made next month. While they're playing all the hits over at Cardell South, we're talking about the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. But we're not talking music, we're talking hockey. Here's Glenn Campbell.
34 teams and 520 players from 4 provinces and 2 territories are here in Calgary to compete in the Canadian National Senior Hockey Championship. In all, there's 6 divisions from 55 plus all the way up to 80 plus, and you may even recognize some of the names.
The competition is good, but they also know how to play properly at our age. You know, being 72, I'm happy they would take me.
Williams isn't the only pro playing in this tournament. This is a 70-plus game between Calgary and Saskatoon. Boris Lukowicz and Rich Preston used to light it up with the Winnipeg Jets and Houston Aeros. On Thursday morning, they helped set up the winning goal.
I think Rich made a nice pass to me, and ended up I took it wide, and then managed to, I think, took a shot, got a rebound, brought it around, and they looked, and I had to actually look twice because Rick Hindmarsh was so wide open. I couldn't believe it. And then he buried it.
Hockey, dressing room camaraderie, guys work together to win. And we're not here to lose, we're here to win. But, you know, I mean, it's old man hockey. You can't spear and all that stuff, but...
As you can see, all of these guys still have a competitive edge, and playing for a national title helps get the juices flowing.
So that's pretty cool. We played 2 years ago in Quebec City, and we finished 3rd, but that was a great event, you know, playing with people our age, and there's some good competition, and it's always, you know, it's a little Olympics, so yeah, it's pretty fun.
Just don't expect to see any of the celebrations from the past.
Did he know how to celebrate? Get on that stick, you wicked witch, and ride it out.
You know, I'm on a 0 contract. I'm normally not used to that, you know. So if I'm going to do something special, you got to get your checkbook out.
Glenn Campbell, CTV Sports, Calgary.
The Canadian National Senior Hockey Championships wrap up on Sunday at Cardell South. Some really good moves there. Okay, that's it for us here at CTV News at 11:30. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you soon.